What's up, guys? Welcome back to the weekly Scraps. Man, Bali, Indonesia with the Bali MMA boys. This is actually a pretty sick trip. And we're supposed to go to Italy. Fuck Italy. Say now. Guys, Italians, I love you. But no, it's just too good of a time.
Respect to Italy.
Respect to Italy.
But
big ups.
Bali's the vibe.
Oh,
Can't leave Bali.
Marvin Vittori got mad at me one time because
really?
I did a breakdown recapping the fight. He thought I was like talking shit. I was like, no, dude. I was like, did you watch the clip? He said, he was giving me shit the whole time. I kept asking, but did you watch it? And then he kept going. I was like, but did you watch it? No. And then he goes, no, I didn't watch it. I was like, okay then. What are we talking about? Why are you getting mad at me? You didn't see the clip yet.
Shit.
And then he watched it. I think he watched it or somebody said something to him and he came back and apologized. It was cool. I was like, we're cool.
Right. True
Like, damn, I thought I was about to get beat up. Man.
Yeah, Marvin Vittori don't come for me, bro. So,
He's a big boy.
I tried to tell him to go to Italy, but he wanted to stay in Bali. What can I do, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to meet up?
No, not with him. He's in Extreme Couture, so he trains over there.
Yeah. Nice.
It's interesting now because they got him, they got Roman Dolidze, and now the champion, Sean Strickland, and Chris Curtis, Action Man.
Respect.
Oh, Curtis is middleweight also.
Yeah, they got a bunch of guys over there at 185, man.
They're going to have some Greg Jackson type problems over there.
But they're all like, I'll fucking fight my brother, bro. So it's just like,
Oh, so they're not going to have no problems.
yeah, so like, this is going to be interesting to kind of just sit here and like, just like let them just figure it out. Like
Different gym vibes over there in Vegas.
Spar wars for
Everybody's
sure.
like just ready to go.
But yeah, they get after it in sparring anyway. So it's kind of like they've been fighting for free this whole time. So now they're going to get paid. I think they're all kind of good with it. Interesting. I know. I watched that clip though. There was like a Filipino guy or like one FC. They had like two training partners that fought and they were like crying after the fight. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
dude.
don't do that.
I was like, come on, man. Like,
No
what do you
need for
guys
that. Yeah.
Don't let your emotions trick you. Crying on the TV, I don't think is ever the right move.
Never.
I don't care what's going on. I feel like
I don't think I'm
want to
full
start
on
crying
bald,
on the
right?
TV.
I haven't full on bald. I've like choked up. Like, you guys are making me. Don't
That's
do it.
real.
After the Jan decision in the second fight, you cried. Like, as you like went to your knees, pause.
Nah,
I think I cried. There was a lot going on. You know, there's a lot
Yeah,
of
but like
context
that's
there.
all right, like
Yeah.
privately, but like on the microphone, like sobbing. Like,
Nah, I wasn't
you know,
doing that.
You don't
I
wanna
didn't
do
Michael Jordan meme. I didn't Michael Jordan meme it.
No.
Didn't do that. But yeah, that was a very emotional
Oh, the DC
fight.
meme.
Yeah. So again, I just want to say thank you guys for having us out here, man. It's been a blast. Donnie, Andrew, love the hospitality. You guys have been great. I've been kicking. We got here what? When did we get here?
About a week ago, Monday the 11th.
The 11th. And I think I've drank every single day since I've been here.
Oh, we're talking about this on the podcast. Okay.
This has
all
been
right.
pretty
This is the
intense.
Gloves Off podcast.
Yeah, the
Okay.
gloves off, the drink champs.
Oh, there's no rum in it yet.
Oh, there's no rum in it. Oh,
We gotta get the Funk Harbor.
Harbor.
The funk is loose. Turn up the funk on your day.
You just say when.
And when? All right.
Don't drive. Use Gojek appropriately.
I might be a little bit on the ball.
And Jake, this is your first time in Asia.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No,
So,
Dubai, technically.
It's not Asia.
Middle East is technically Asia.
okay.
Southeast Asia.
How long were you in Dubai for?
2 weeks
2 weeks? Say.
It's not the same.
with him. But like, real Asian. This is
Really, just
Cheers, man. To the funk.
Salute.
Oh, man.
Team Funk. Bali.
Been a great trip though, man. Like going to shelter, going to school. These are all like really cool restaurants. I might be forgetting some stuff, getting some training. But there's one thing I will say, even though I've been drinking like a psychopath, literally since my fight, we're just about a month out from the fight. Literally a month removed. And I think I just been on one since then. But it's been the most freeing time of liberation in my entire life. I don't even know how to even explain it. But
Yeah, what's
you've been
better?
training?
Come to Bali, let loose,
Yeah.
train a little bit, party a little bit.
A lot of partying.
A lot of partying.
just for disclosure, my partying involves THC responsibly and alcohol responsibly.
We've managed to avoid the synthetics so far on this trip.
I don't do any of the other stuff. But I haven't tried psilocybin, but that's another topic. But we've been pretty good, like waking up in the morning after having a crazy night and going to go train. I know it's probably not the best thing to do, But going out, getting a couple rolls, but being smart about the rolls and having the boys get after me a
Yeah,
little
no,
bit.
it's been a great week. Gym in the morning, you know, a little
Surfing.
lunch, hit up the surf, some drinks in the Arvo, watch a little sunset. Like, what more do you want out of a holiday, you know? Can't really beat it.
Yeah, we were talking about like, what's better than this, man? Just watching the sunset is like, damn, this is nice.
We're sitting back like every time, like, oh, we're gonna extend 2 nights. Oh, we're gonna stay till the 28th. And we're like, yes, like stay longer, bro.
We did too. So I called Emirates and I told them like we made a mistake on the booking, and which we did because we didn't know where we were gonna like really be. And the reason why we're not going to Italy because all the moving pieces of where we're gonna actually go, then go to Wales is just like, yeah, this is just so much easier. I asked Rebecca one more time. I was like, what do you want to do? And she finally said, I don't care to go. Like, I'm down to just stay. I was like, all right. I wish we said this like a while ago. And then we could've just had
I think
something.
it's just the uncertainty because you weren't
Sure
seemed
what
quite
it's
sure,
gonna
and
be like.
she's not really sure. And I think because you guys are already pretty comfortable here, you know,
Yeah.
kind of starting to get some roots in the ground. So she's like, this is all right, you
Yeah.
know, little beach club, tanning every day. Like,
Have you been to Italy?
No, we never
Okay,
been. We
so-
were actually really looking forward to that because we were gonna go from like Rome, go to
Yeah.
either Milan, Venice, Verona, Naples, Sardinia. We did some good research, maybe Sicily, but it was
The
just
whole
so
tour,
much.
yeah.
But this was before the match got announced, and once they announced the match,
okay.
I was like, well, that changes a lot because now I kind of have to train.
Yeah,
This is like I'm
yeah.
just training because I want to train, and then I kind of have the match in the back of my mind since it was kind of announced a little bit while ago. But like this is not really noticeable.
And the opponent change?
An opponent change, so I'm no longer facing Nathaniel Wood. I'm facing Mike Grundy, who's a UK wrestler. He's a natural 45er, so it's gonna be interesting to see how big he
Okay,
is.
a little
when he tries
bigger
to
boy.
Grab me, and it'll be an interesting dynamic to see how our wrestling cancels out or measures up with each other.
Keen to see what this UK wrestling game is about.
Yeah,
you
me
know?
too.
I don't know many wrestlers from the UK. I know they have a team. Great Britain
Yeah.
has a team, and they put some guys in the Olympics and stuff. But you know, World Championships going on this weekend. Shout out USA Wrestling taking home some gold medals. Vitor Rujao, New York boy, bringing home a world gold medal. How you doing? Kyle Dake got silver, lost in the finals. I
Who did he
think.
lose to?
Sidikov, the Russian, the same one who beat Burroughs, I think.
So did Burroughs compete?
No, Burroughs lost to Chance Marsteller at the 74 kilo.
It's hard to
think.
follow, man, because it's so like the dates and
So it's
times.
tricky because what happens during the Olympics, they drop 2 weight classes.
Oh, yeah.
So a
That's-
non-Olympic year, I think there's 10 weights. And then when it's Olympic year, there's 8. So it gets a little weird where some guys need to kind of move up or move down. Like that's why Burroughs and Dake were together for
Okay.
the Olympic year, and they had to kind of wrestle for that final spot. But then this year, it's a non-Olympic year, so they have those 2 extra weight classes. So I think they separated. But Burroughs lost 2 out of 3 to Chance Marsteller, who is a kind of up-and-coming guy
Damn.
out of PA.
It's just crazy to kind of like, we got to get rid of one and keep one. It's just like, damn, we're going to keep one of the best wrestlers back and not allow him to go? Come on.
Yeah, well, no, they'll usually change weights, but then it just gets that much tougher, right?
Yeah.
You got like the top 10 weights in the country, guys going for 10 weights, and then now it's 8 weights, so it's just a little more competitive, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Gear shift. Now, we just saw ESPN. Now, ESPN and UFC, they work together. But the UFC panel, I don't know who's like comprised of this panel, but they have the middleweight rankings. Israel Adesanya is number 1 still, and Sean Strickland is number 5. I'm not quite sure how to feel about this. Actually, I know how to feel about it.
Did they vote?
Sense.
Did
It
they
makes no
vote?
sense.
When did they cast the ballots? Was it before the fight, maybe? Like
That would be.
that would make more sense, right?
Yeah.
You
The
know?
article says Israel Adesanya did not look like the better fighter when he was inside the octagon.
Brett Okamoto wrote this one, right?
Yeah, at UFC 293, but that was just one night, and over the long haul, one bad performance does not define a fighter anymore. One good performance does. So despite Strickland now owning the UFC middleweight belt, Adesanya remains at the top of the 185-pound heap in the latest ESPN divisional rankings.
Then why are we fighting?
So now the rankings are based on
Your career.
history and future potential.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't really matter what you actually do in the fights that
Yeah.
much.
Imagine winning a New York State championship in wrestling, and then they said, no, but see, this guy's still better. He's still going to be ranked number 1 over.
And you
had a
beat
bad
the guy.
performance.
And you beat the guy. You beat the
man.
guy.
Yeah, like-
And they're like, nah, he's still better.
Any place, anywhere, anytime.
Imagine that.
Is this pound for pound or middleweight?
Just
Just middleweight.
This This isn't UFC rankings.
It's just all
yes,
across all
ESPN.
promotions.
Yeah.
Editorial rankings.
Yeah.
You got to put Sean number 1.
Do they have like Bellator guys and like
Yeah,
PFL
they do.
guys
I saw
ranked and
Pettis
stuff like
and some of
that?
the other guys.
I never really looked at that ranking. I'd be keen. Any guys from like Asia ever make it into the rank? Like one championship guys or anything ever make it into the rankings?
I'm not sure. Let's just make sure
Well,
the mic is good.
oh, my mic.
Yeah, let's
fucking
make
up.
sure it's good.
All right, I see you looking at me.
But on that note, I do think Sean should be number 1 just because of the recency of what just happened. And Izzy should be number 2. And I think everyone will be completely fine with that. But it's just absurd to say over the long haul of his career.
That's crazy.
By this logic, am I still number 1?
Yeah.
Because O'Malley's number 1.
Well,
They
what are
gotta
they going to
change.
change it to like a projectional thing then? Say it's like your career projections then or something. Because it can't be, like a current ranking should be based on what you're doing currently, right? Like,
But
you know?
I'm just saying, based on that logic, I'm like, you put Sean at number 1, but then you put Sean Strickland at number 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. No,
But O'Malley gets number 1 over me. I'm like, well,
Right.
who has he fought in the top 5, top 10, other than Piotr Jan?
and who gets to
good
decide
fight.
that Izzy had a bad night and you didn't?
And I did have a bad night.
And you didn't. You
Like-
know what I mean? Like now we're getting a little wild with like everybody kind of putting their own influence on what they're doing, right?
Like, I really don't care. I just think it's just asinine when people say stuff like that because I'm just like, well, what are we doing? Is this sport based on what we do, or is
I know
this just
Brett's
like
not a casual,
people's
but it
up-
sounds like.
well,
Nah,
piggyback.
and I like Brett. Brett's a cool
I
dude,
don't-
but I hope he's not the one controlling this panel because Brett Akamoto, oh man.
Bro, you piggyback that off of the Valentina
Grasso.
Grasso fight. You got a judge giving it 10-8. I mean, I guess this is kind of par for the course in MMA that there's just no consistency with judging. There's no consistency with fucking pound for pound rankings. There's no consistency with, you know, enforcement of rematches and this. It's just like, you know, there's no rules. It's the Wild West, bro. We just do what we want. You know?
Yeah, I just think there's something to be said about Strickland dominating for 4-1 rounds and me winning a round, but then I get clipped and get TKO'd in the second in a fight where a lot of people were still saying, even myself still says it was a little bit of an early stoppage. I'm gonna say a lot of it, but that warrants him to be number 1. But then Sean Strickland literally, like, let's call it what it is. That was a whooping. That was a whooping.
Oh
from
yeah, I
bell to
mean
bell.
he basically came out and dominated the fight. You know what I mean? Like Izzy never. There was never a moment in that fight where
Well,
you're
it-
like thought Izzy was gonna get him out of there. Might have
Yes.
been a moment where you're like, oh, maybe he's gonna like start to score some points, but never like. There was never one moment where Strickland was like, and I'm not an Izzy hater, I'm an Izzy fan.
I lo-
but there
and
was
I
just,
love Izzy, just
there's
so we
never
all-
one moment
full
where
disclosure.
you were looked at it, you were like, oh, Strickland might be in trouble here. He just never really had that moment in the fight.
You felt
you
it
know?
after the first few leg checks. You're like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And then, so why is it? And again, like, I mean, I know people have brought this up, but it's like, why is this all on Izzy's bad performance and not
Strickland's.
Strickland's amazing performance? Like,
Or
it was
Strickland is that good.
maybe Strickland is now like the kind of, remember a few years back, like Masvidal went on this little run and kind of reinvigorated his career. He was always like a better guy, but then he just really like strung together some wins and was like getting talked about,
Became
like title
Street Jesus
shots and
overnight.
stuff, right? You know what I mean? Like this might be Strickland's kind of moment where like maybe mentally he kind of figured something out and now he's going to go on a run and like be unstoppable for a while,
But
you
look,
know?
look, can you look it up real quick? Who has Sean actually lost to? I think it was Cannonier, and that's really it.
Carl Usman.
And Usman, but
Yeah.
that was at 170.
Yeah.
Now he's back. He's up at 185, and he had a crazy motorcycle accident that thing kept him out for like
Yeah,
2
it was
years.
out for a couple years.
I was.
Like, if it-
Yeah.
So my thing is just, I think sometimes
Some of us have been there before.
Jake
Oh,
Fines.
He lost to
Jake Fine Media, not motorcycle racing.
he lost to Cannonier, before that Pereira, and then before that he beat Jack Hermanson, and then
Yeah.
his last loss before that was
Usman.
UFC 224 to Elizu Zaleski.
Elijah. I think that was at 170 also though. I think that was also a welterweight bout. But what I'm saying is, even bringing that up is really because I think a lot of the fans, you know, and they could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of people only tune in to certain fighters because they're not hardcore fans. Like, you know, we watch the fights all the time.
Yeah.
These guys are only watching when there's like a big title fight coming on, then like placing these bets and wages. But they're not watching these guys' careers to know like, yo, Sean Strickland is actually just that damn good. Like, Sean has been good, has been that same guy doing that to people in sparring, and then going out there and doing that to people in the fights. Like, watch all his recent fights. Takes the fight with short notice with Imavov,
Yeah,
and just
the main
walks him down.
event. Yeah. Yeah.
For no training.
After getting cracked a bunch in the first, the guy came out and
Yeah.
fucked him up a little bit in the first round, I
round.
think. Yeah.
And he weathered the storm, 5-round fight, short notice. Are you kidding me? Who else is doing that? Who else is doing that?
What a stud.
But he's just, he just had, maybe it was a good performance, but maybe it was just a bad night. for
Izzy had a bad night.
What?
He's still the best.
No,
That's like the ultimate fanboy move, right? Like you're a sports writer and you're like, I know he just lost, but he's my favorite. he's still number one. He can do it.
that's exactly what it's like, though.
That's such a fanboy move, you know?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
Yeah, you got to look at the reality a little bit, you know.
It's like, what's the point of having the fights then?
Yeah,
you know what I
like,
mean?
Should Grasso still be? Should Shevchenko be number one because it was a loss and then a draw?
You know.
Like, what are we talking
They're just
about?
trying to get page views. Like you
I don't-
said,
Yeah,
I
you think
said
it's
you never
you
look
think
at
you think it's
dude.
intentional? They're just gonna get clicks and get people barking like you guys are crazy. You don't know what you're talking
it.
about.
Like you said,
I don't buy it.
You're like, I never look at that ranking.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, 'cause
Now
we're-
you're talking about it on his podcast.
But we're hardcore guys, though.
But who am I?
The casuals
anyways,
are actually going to watch and look at that and be like, well, this says he's number one, so he's got to be number one. Because there's people who are not really
I
watching.
don't
Oh,
think people really look at this list, honestly.
But that's like goes right
why are
back
they
to
doing
the
it?
same thing where like
To get
you know
people to look at it.
the media
they do
tricks
though.
you though. Like the same thing, like the lead up to that fight. They trick you into thinking that Sean had no chance and that Izzy was gonna come out there and like magically style bend his way
Hey,
to a
Ronda Rousey
fucking,
does.
you know what I mean?
Can
Or
I
like,
just
you know.
politely say that I hate that both their names are Sean because it just makes me keep thinking about O'Malley in my head.
Yeah.
no,
Strickland.
the name Sean will not be mentioned again on the
No,
podcast.
I don't care. I'm just saying,
That's
like,
all
every
right.
time I hear Sean, I'm like, which one are you talking about?
Yeah, I couldn't think of his last name for a minute.
How many times has Strickland made you laugh, though? Like,
Oh, he's hilarious. Dude. He's great. I know
Man,
Sean.
he's cringy just like Izzy though, in like a little different way. I think he kind of like showed a little bit more of his real self after the fight though, whereas
Yeah.
before
Great
he was
guy.
just being really like just loud and kind of like seemed like he was just kind of saying shit. It wasn't maybe not necessarily how he really felt. But then after the fight, he started like kind of you could see like maybe some emotions coming out and like kind of being a bit more honest and stuff. You
Is it
know?
awkward? Is it weird to call him or bad thing to call him like the Trailer Park Long Islander?
Yeah,
Like New
nah,
York,
you know,
just
in a loving way.
Loud
Yeah,
and just crazy.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of
Seems like a good time.
He's a
That's
ball
how he
buster.
kinda-
He breaks balls, bro. Like
Yeah.
he talks shit, he breaks ball, but he's just having a laugh, taking a piss. But
Yeah,
it's
okay.
just what
Tough
he
as
does.
nails, too. Man, I could
But
take a
he's
shot.
But he's like that in the gym. Like guys are having bad sparrings or bad things, and he'll just start walking around and like just telling people like, "Stop being a pussy, toughen up. This is where we get good." And he's a great motivator. Like
Yeah,
it's
cool.
a different
Nice.
way, but if
That's
you're
awesome.
not used to that, it can kind of break you. But he's like overall, his intentions are always has been good. I've told a story about my first interaction with Sean Strickland. And it was like, I fucking hate this guy. I can't wait till someone his size could actually beat his ass for me. Because what the fuck? Like literally as my first day back sparring to help out, I'm getting my ass kicked because I've been drinking the whole time. I'm in there sparring. I have no business being in there. But just because I'm just crazy, they asked me to come in. I did a round. Then going to round 2 and 3, he's like just sitting there in the cage yelling so everyone can hear his advice through the entire gym. And it's just me on the ground on my back, him telling me what to do. I was like, I hate this guy. This guy sucks.
Oh,
This is
man.
the worst guy in the world.
I don't even know you. Why are you talking to me, man?
Yeah, but it was not a good day for me. Who's it? Shane Shapiro just mauled me for that time. And I could not wait to get it back. Because of Sean, I could not wait to get back in there, go with Shane, just to be like, I told you I could do better than that. That was just a rough day because I was drinking the whole time. But whatever. But like I said, at the end of the day, he's a great
I love
dude.
those stories, yeah, because it really should. That takes a good guy to give that kind of advice
Yeah.
around the gym. Like, people are selfish; they only care about themselves.
No, he's a
you
team
know.
player, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's interesting because you always feel like, you know, the media portrays people a certain way or
100%.
chooses to shine light on certain aspects of people's
I'm an actor.
personalities,
I'm an
maybe
actor, by the
more
way.
than others.
I'm an actor. I fake things.
Isn't that what you got your degree in from Cortland? It was like you were a drama major or something like that? You know, let's spread that rumor.
What was your
Drama major from Cortland State.
Yeah.
But-
The dream.
Yeah.
The SUNY
dream.
schools are famous for pumping out phys ed coaches.
Oh,
in
man.
case anybody was wondering.
I always
about
thought that was the dream when I was physical education. Let's
Just gotta do it.
play kickball every
Gym
day.
teacher,
That's so
gym
good.
teacher, wrestling coach, baby.
Summers
that
off,
was, that
summers
was
off.
the
Summers
dream
off.
for like every young wrestler in high school and shit.
Dude,
You're
if
like,
I follow through with that and I found this place, I'll be here like every summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
And
man,
it
if you're
was like
teaching,
the best
if
summer
you're
off,
teaching,
like,
every
yeah.
summer in Bali, that's the way
That'd
to
be pretty
go.
lit.
I was gonna ask you about that. Would you think you'll like? I mean, obviously you're not gonna fight forever, and I hope you fight a lot longer and have a long, happy career.
I don't want to fight that long.
Do you think
I'll
do
shoot that
you,
straight
do you
up.
think you would go back to teaching and like coaching and that? I know you like coaching. I know you like working
Yeah.
with kids and stuff like that. So do you think that'll be like part of your life after fighting and stuff?
Yeah, more than likely. I feel like paying it forward. I've had a guy in my life, Dave Montano, who helped me out a ton, and he just, for whatever reason, took myself and my brother in. Mostly me, because my brother wasn't always like one to wake up super early to go to these wrestling tournaments in the off season. Me, I was all about it. It's like, this is what I want to do. It's just fun. And it took me around everywhere, pay for stuff, pay for my meals, pay for my tournament entry. I didn't have any money. And now I'm kind of like, I'm in the position where I could help do stuff like that. If I see someone that wants it, try to help them out, whether it's in the school system or even at a gym, trying to like just put in time and give people a little bit back what I was given, you know. And I think it's just a great opportunity to help someone else chase and realize their dream, because you just never know, man. You plant, you know, you water
Whose
the
coach
seed
was
a
that?
little bit.
Was that
and-
your high school coach?
No, it was a guy that I wrestled named Josh Matana. I wrestled his son. And I beat him in the qualifier in the final. And Josh might be listening too. So I beat him in the qualifier. He beat my brother Troy. We were in the same weight class. Troy and I didn't get to wrestle because Josh beat his ass. Josh put the boots on my brother. My brother was just legs in the air like.
Thanks, Josh.
Couldn't do
We
anything.
didn't want the Sterling versus Sterling match.
That would probably been a heated match, bro.
I bet.
But he got scraped up by Josh Matana. So then after that was kind of like my fuel, like, "Man, he beat up on my brother." So then we get to the finals,
Get
and
this dude.
I kind of smoked him in like, I think under 2 minutes, because it was 2-minute rounds, 2-minute periods, and yeah, I think under 2 minutes.
State finals.
No, this was qualifiers.
Oh, qualifier.
To go to sections.
Sections, yeah.
And then sections you go to states.
So what do you call it? Counties by you
we call
guys.
it
You call it
counties.
counties,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, counties,
okay.
counties, yeah.
Nassau County.
We call it upstate New York. We call that sectionals.
We call it sections.
We got sectionals and then super sectionals. You
Section
guys
8.
have counties
Section
and then
8 county,
sections,
yeah.
right?
Okay, yeah.
Section 5.
But then ever since that, they section great, baby. And section 11.
Section 11. Let's go.
We got
Yeah,
nothing
come
cool.
on, bro.
Section
let's
11.
go.
Let's go.
What's that?
Let's
Section
go.
11 is Suffolk, yeah?
Yeah,
Or Nassau.
Suffolk.
8 is Nassau,
Section
yeah?
Great,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Great.
Section great.
I remember this
Eight
guy.
is
I remember
singlets,
one of my
right?
teammates
Yeah.
wrestled. There was a dude named Akil Code or something like that. He was a Section 8 dude. He used to come out with like he wore tall socks and he would have like a stuffed animal in his sock and he would put it on the mat in his corner. He won like 2 New York State titles back in the day. If you're out there, bro, like big up to you. Watch you wrestle. Section 8, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so through him, I don't know what happened, but my coach told me at the time, he gave me his contact, said this guy wants to take you out to wrestle, and if you're down, he'll take you around. I was like, kind of like, what's the catch, bro?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
When I told my mom, legit, like, I'm Jamaican, bro, so guys, forgive me. But this is, you gotta remember, this is also back in 2005, 2006, or 2006, 2007, going into 2007. My mom was like, you sure I'm not a Batiman? Which means, you sure he's not gay?
Yeah,
Like,
you're
I was just like,
you're gonna play a little
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hide the winky in the
yeah,
car
like,
or something,
I
bro.
was
What
like,
you?
I don't think so. I think he just really loves wrestling. He wants to see me win. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I wrestled his son, and it was a good match. I mean, it was a good match, but yeah, whatever.
And he helped you out a lot, though.
Shout out to
helped me out a
wrestling
lot.
though. I think everybody that ever wrestled probably knows a couple guys like that though that
Yeah.
were like, you know, willing to pay for kids, like to have new shoes or take them to tournaments. There was a guy named Lou Lombardo in Greece where I'm from who was notorious for like, you know, picking kids up and taking them to tournaments and extra workouts and
It changes
helping
your life.
kids get shoes and like really like, and there's, you know, 50 young men out there who like think of that guy as like a, you know, like a father
yeah,
in a
kind of
way.
like a
You know
father.
what I mean? And you
I
really
call
like,
Dave
you
he's
know,
like my second father. I call him.
yeah. That's
Jake,
cool.
you mind turning the temperature down like 2? I'm like sweating through my shirt. It's right by the fridge.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Kaczynski. That guy saved my life. Damn, he sent me to J-Rob twice. Convinced my mom to bring me to J. Robinson for those month camps.
Yeah.
Those were
Carl
those-
Adams camps in
Those
Boston.
camps had
Oh,
a
man, I
crazy
didn't deserve to go to
reputation
those.
back in the day. Those
I
Jay
was such a
Robinson
naughty
camps.
kid. I was like,
Their whole thing was like, I did it. That was like their whole
dude.
tagline was like, I survived the wrestling
Bro,
camp.
the
That was
last,
like a
the
thing,
last
you know?
day of the camp, they made us run around for an hour in a circle, maybe 45 minutes screaming, I'm going to be somebody. What? I'm going to be somebody. Bro,
Look at you now.
bro. Dude, I'll never forget that.
Holy
I'm going to
shit.
be somebody. What? I'm going to be somebody.
The J-Rob intensive,
Because it
bro.
started with like 250 kids, and it would always get down to like 75 kids. It was a hard camp.
And you
man.
don't get the
It was a hard
T-shirt unless
camp.
you finish it,
Yeah,
right? You
I
get
did
like
it.
the I did it
I
T-shirt was like a
survived
big
heaven and
deal.
hell.
Yeah, when you were warming up for a match, like in the back in the day, and you look across the mat and the guy's got the J-Rob I did it
one
T-shirt,
too?
you're like,
28 days, man.
Not bad.
And then you got to run 14 miles the last day.
I actually worked the J-Rock camp, the 7-day intensive though.
Oh,
as
where
a
was
counselor.
that?
PA.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, I got paid. It was okay money.
And it's intensive,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
like you wake, they check you if you're not there.
It was a pain in the ass. I'm like, I don't want to be on top of these kids. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. They're here to have
Probably gotta
fun.
work.
Man.
You gotta work, yeah.
You're working.
Well, Carl Adams, they didn't care if you didn't show up. So
Yeah,
they'll
that was a
bang on your
different vibe.
door.
I
They'll
used-
bang on your door, but at the 7 a.m. workout, you're not gonna be disciplined if you don't show up. At J-Rob, they'll kick you out. You miss 2 classes, you're gone.
yeah, because they keep
Yeah.
attendance in the intensive
Yeah, they keep
camp
attendance.
and stuff
Yeah,
like
and
that.
the coaches are
Intensive is
liable.
kinda like-
Yeah,
you're in
because
intensive,
you know
you need
you
to
want
be
the
here.
T-shirt.
Yeah,
they
that-
need to
Carl
know
Adams
who
is a
gets the
technical camp,
T-shirt
yeah.
and who doesn't.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, that was always fun working wrestling camps in the summer times and stuff like that. We
sick.
did a bunch back then. Brockport camp, Navy camp.
Navy
Yo,
camp.
who we got for the main event for this weekend?
Gamrot versus Fazeev.
That's a good fight.
Grappler versus the
Grappler versus striker.
This is-
Gamrot had a crazy fight when
Against
on
Shoryuken.
Abu Dhabi when you fought.
He
also,
fight Arman, right? He fought Arman.
he fought Dariush.
Dariush,
Dariush
yes.
and Gamrot had a crazy
Yes.
fight. That guy's got he's got the style that shouldn't work in modern MMA.
But it does.
Because he's so kind of, no disrespect, Gamrot. I'm sure you got good striking.
You gotta remember
But he's kind of one-dimensional. Like
Very.
you know he's gonna come in, try to take you down and do that. But he's like the more modern day, like who was the good jiu-jitsu guy, Damian Maya kind of thing. Like you know what he's gonna do. You kind of just have to figure out a way to stop it. kind of a
Damien
thing.
Maya threw some hands against Kobe Covington though. He threw some hands,
Did he?
man. He pieced up
Later
Kobe
in his career.
in the very first round.
Oh, I remember
Because he was talking so much
It
shit
was
about
5
Brazil.
rounds, right?
It was a 5
Yeah,
round
it was 5
fight.
rounds, yeah.
He bloodied up Kobe,
okay.
but then Kobe came back. Maya got tired, and it was just
Brazil,
damn.
you're
yeah.
absolute shit.
So the guy's about to translate. He's like, no, we're not translating tonight.
Good thing they didn't, bro.
That
Good
was
thing
great.
they didn't.
Oh man.
That's got to be a little. That would be a little scary if I was like in a big city in Brazil. Like even if you got the UFC protecting you though, you'd like start calling the place a shithole and stuff. Like, bro, I know some Brazilian people. They'll get after you a little bit over there, bro. They know some people in the favelas. They got nothing to live for, you know. They're gonna come after you.
What a call. Yeah,
That should be a really interesting fight. The reason I like Gamrot though, because even at 135, like people know, like I would say, like what Marab and I are gonna do, but it's very hard to stop it. Gamrot is kind of similar, even though with the Dariush thing, he kind of got a little bit tired. I feel like he got tired in that fight in Abu Dhabi, but I feel like he had
Seemed
some
like it a
success.
little bit.
But then Dariush is also a really high-level grappler who I got to grapple with him back in like 2016, I think, or 2017. And I was like, man, this guy's good. He's good top pressure, good control, knows how to settle, doesn't let you do all the roly-poly bullshit and
Yeah.
get underneath him, which is what Gamrot does. He'll like take a bad shot, do some inverted bullshit,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
pull you into his nonsense. Just a whole bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, it's a good
He
fight.
has an
That's
interesting
exciting.
style too, because he shoots like low leg shots and stuff. You don't ever
Yeah.
like nobody really in MMA is shooting like that like low single
Couture,
like
James Toney.
to their knees kind of thing. Right, yeah.
Don't- never
Nobody's
forget.
doing that Randy
Never
Couture
forget.
like low single on a boxer move anymore.
Remember
You
when
know?
James Toney was
Yeah.
being taught by an FBI coach?
Yeah,
Did you
that
guys
was,
see those?
I remember the lead up videos.
I
They had
love
you
that.
convinced. He was like,
James Toney
this
had
guy's
you.
like, oh, he gets on the ground. He's got like superhuman strength. I can't believe it. They were like hyping it up like he was really gonna do something on the ground. It's pretty funny.
I was
But
saying-
no, that like it's such. I mean, I feel like a guy like Gamrot always has like a unique kind of advantage because he has a style that's really like difficult to prepare for. Because you can like, I mean, you're gonna tell all your mates to like shoot low ankle shots on me like in the camp and stuff. It's like hard to kind of get that look. You know what I mean?
I think if I'm preparing for Gamrot, I think the way I'm like approaching my sparring sessions is like, as the guy who's getting ready for the fight, I know I can't go 100%. like in the striking because I know I'm gonna hurt guys, right?
Right.
But I would like to have training partners who are coming in and their sole purpose is to take me down as much as I throw strikes. But obviously I know I can hit on the feet, but once it gets to the ground, you shouldn't be ground and pound at 100%. That's just crazy to me. And I think with that, you got to remind your training partners to start doing inverted stuff, rolling. Just so you can kind of get that chaotic feel
Just
of what it's going to be like to
lots
scramble.
of scrambles, like
That's it.
weird positions, stuff like that.
Because it might not be the same, but at least you kind of get an idea of like where your body awareness might be in terms of if he goes inverted, when you might fall forward, how to kind of position yourself to change angles and whatnot. I think that's going to
Probably
be the
getting
best
your heart
way
rate
to
up and
prepare.
down a little bit because you're gonna get in those weird positions, get a little
It's
nervous, get a little
exhausting.
tightened, like really need to get out, and then kind of like find your rest and kind of
Yeah.
get back to it again.
It's very tiring position, man. Like I know ZVU, like you play a lot of legs down, or I don't know if you've been doing that for a while, but at least I don't remember a lot of the leg attacks from what was it 2017 or 2018.
Yeah.
I noticed it a lot more, even with Anthony too. It's the same things like playing legs. I'm like, yo, bro, leave my little piggies alone, bro. Leave them alone.
That's the new school shit, though. Everybody wants to do leg locks now and stuff, you know? It's
Great way
like-
to get out, you know,
you
create
know.
an attack and maybe open something up.
Yeah.
Like you had my back today. I was like, all right, I got to roll out.
I gotta-
It's my only option right now.
gotta
It's
roll.
like I either got to roll or accept this backpack that's coming, you know?
Even like you took my back, and I was thinking, do I roll or do I just go traditional escape? And I just
Yeah.
went traditional.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
The rolling thing, I just feel like sometimes you end up in worse positions
Definitely.
than you think that you're going to be in.
If they anticipate too.
If they,
yeah.
I just kind of give everyone the credit though.
For sure.
Like the benefit of the doubt that they're just that good.
Yeah, you got out real clean.
You got to have some different responses and stuff, too, when you're training for MMA versus,
you
like,
gotta
jiu-jitsu
hit high.
only, you know what I mean? You're not going to, like... You could invert in a position where somebody would probably, like, punch your face a lot, you know, in an MMA fight, but you have time there to, like, kind of mess around.
You saw that fight, Brito versus the newcomer who made his debut, kept rolling for leg locks, and Brito just smashed him. The one for Joe Anderson Brito, 145.
I saw something recently that was pretty.
You were at the Apex with me, right? Just annihilated this guy. I was like, yeah, that's a highlight I would never want to be a part of. Like he just, that was bad.
It's pretty vicious.
It
Ryan
was
Ryan
vicious.
Hall versus.
Ilya Taporia.
Yeah, dude, that was mean.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. You know, I'm a big fan of Ryan, and you know, that was a tough fight for him. Big learning curve, I think.
He hasn't fought since then.
Yeah. He didn't fight a lot before that either, though. He only has had a handful of fights,
Yeah,
right?
he's got his
like-
gym and everything.
Yeah.
But who do you guys think is going to win that between Fiziev and?
I'm going to go...
Because he's been looking good. Even when Gaethje did take him
Fiziev's
down.
good. Fiziev's good.
Gaethje took him down, right? When they fought. I don't think he's fought since then.
Since
So he's
Gaethje
coming off
fight,
the
yeah, I
loss
think that was his
against
last
Gaethje.
fight.
And that was, dude, I didn't know who was going to win that. We're at the house watching in Vegas, and I was like, yeah, dude. Because I think Nas reps Fiziev a lot, respects him a lot. But I'm just like, yeah, I'm team fucking Gaethje, bro. I'm team fucking Gaethje. Like, that motherfucker was team Jan. Fuck him.
Yeah,
I'm
he-
going team Gaethje.
Yeah,
at Tiger
Fiziev's
still
team
right
Tiger
now,
Muay
right?
Thai also, so similar team, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Never really met either guy.
I'm just going to put this here. You guys can do with it as you please.
Let's go a little.
Yeah?
Nice, I think I have another Red Bull.
Should I grab, bro?
I
Grab
want,
another Nerd Focus.
I want the real thing. Yeah,
Damn.
nerd focus. Don't put that in his glass. Don't put that in his glass.
Good thing we have an editor.
Get out of here, bro.
Ah, sorry, bro. I'm a piece of shit.
That's so good.
I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm a mess.
Yeah, predictions for the main event.
I got Fiziev by unanimous decision, 3 rounds.
My heart's picking this one, and I'm going with Gamrot because I'm a grappler, and the grappler lost against the striker at UFC 292 in the main event. So I think it's going to happen in this one. The grappler beats the striker in this main event.
Yeah, I gotta go with grappler. It's my heart.
Gamrot, baby, come on,
Yeah.
do some crazy
So
shit.
I'm getting 2-1 odds over here. So
Yeah,
when
don't-
Fiziev wins, just pay me in rupiah.
Yo,
all
just
right?
make it a boring fight. Circle, let him chase you. Do what I should have did. Instead, I let the crowd fuck me up. But do what I should have did. Circle, circle, circle. Let this guy chase you around. And when he gets over aggressive, you take his ass down like cash money, baby.
Easy like that.
Gamrot,
Fiziev's
like-
got good wrestling though, man. He's got that. He's from. Is he
Polish-
like?
Polish, right?
No. He's from like Tajikistan
Yeah, he's got the
or
hips.
one of the
got
stands,
the hips.
Kyrgyzstan
Yeah.
or like
I thought he was Polish.
Nah. He from one of the stands.
No,
And,
you gotta confirm this.
bro, for sure. Look it up. Look it
Gamrot.
up. Look. No. Oh, not Gamrot. I'm talking about Fiziev.
Oh, no, he's Azerbaijan and one of the stands.
Yeah.
Kazakhstan.
So he can wrestle. So he can wrestle pretty good. I think because he's such a good striker, people sleep on his wrestling. He's got good wrestling.
He's got good hits, but Gaethje took him down. Gaethje don't take nobody down.
That's true. Gaethje doesn't. You don't see
Well, he
Gaethje
also
going for a
doesn't
lot of
wrestle
takedowns.
too much,
Maybe he needed to go for a
Gaethje also
takedown in
doesn't
that
shoot.
fight. Who's next?
Bryce Mitchell versus Dan Ige.
Co-main event. Boom, 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 boom. Two of my friends. Boom, 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 boom. Dan Ige. Boom, 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 boom. Bryce Mitchell.
Camo.
Damn, come on, man. Let me live.
Was Bryce Mitchell the one talking a lot of like conspiracy theory
Yeah.
type
The
stuff
earth
on
is
the
flat, bro.
internet?
The earth is
I'm
flat.
going. I'm going
Earth is
Dan
flat.
Ige. I'm going Dan Ige on this. Case closed. Next topic. Shit.
I want my camo shorts.
Bryce Mitchell, if you ever come to Bali, I got you, bro. Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
I got you, my G. We'll
Yeah.
get that. We'll make that real tree Bali MMA
Coming off a
t-shirt
loss.
for you.
I'm going to be straight up because I know both these guys. And I think it's going to come down to whether or not Danny Ige can keep Bryce Mitchell off of him. I know he can hit him.
Yeah.
I've trained with both these guys. I know Ige can land. Ige can grapple. He actually wrestled with Wartburg, from what I remember.
Okay.
D3, where I wrestled D3, but I wrestled at Cortland. Come on, baby.
Wartburg got a good,
No, they were
good
studs.
team
They
though.
were a lot better than freaking
What,
Cortland.
Wartburg and Augsburg, right? They're
Always
like
1
kind
and
of the
2.
top 2 in the country every year, it
I
seemed
hated
like.
them. I
Yeah.
hated those guys.
Division three's got like 156 schools.
Something like, we have a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And Division one's got like what? 42.
No, what? 42. Get out of here.
Oh, that's Division two.
Well
Sorry,
over
Division
100.
two.
Division 2 is quite small. Division
two's
1,
sorry,
well
Division
over 100
two. Yeah.
schools.
Oh, okay.
But I think we have more than you guys, though.
Might, but it probably is fairly close. I mean, I think I want to say like 118
wow.
last time I
Division
saw
two's
something
got
with it.
not so many.
Don't quote me on that. You could Google it. Jamie, pull that up.
But
How many,
I'm saying the wrestling. Bryce has very unorthodox wrestling. He's very good at the body lock. Once he gets his hands locked, he does a great job of using that S grip, and he's so long. He's not the biggest 45er either. Him and Ige, this is what I love about this matchup. They're not two big, overpronounced guys at 145. They're both probably walking around 170, like 65, 170. And that's like a normal day. If they get fat, maybe it's like 63, 60, 65, 75. I say 63. 73, 75.
so they're your size, is what you're saying.
Relatively my size, which, you know, it's good.
Hey,
It's good.
Hey.
But,
featherweight,
but
watch out.
I think
2024.
when Mitchell gets his hands locked, he does a great job, especially when he gets to that body lock position. He's very difficult to grapple in there. And then when he gets to the back, he's very good in that position as well. Ige, he's a good grappler, but I'm going to say, I think if he lets Bryce take his back, I think that's going to be problematic. I don't think he's going to submit him, but I think it's going to be problematic where it could be like the Korean Zombie, where he could give up the entire round just by giving up that position. But I think if he lands some good shots in the feet, which I think he's got the edge in the striking department over
Ige's
Bryce.
a sharp. I would say he's
sharper.
a sharper striker.
Dude, he
you
hits
know what I
hard,
mean?
man.
Yeah, and he's got power. So I mean, Bryce going to need to get the takedown and be smart. Same like you said with Gamrot. Manage distance well, bait him in, look to get his
Yeah.
takedown, body lock. Kind of similar deal there.
Similar
you know,
thing, 'cause when he
stronger.
fought Taporia, overall. So Bryce has that wiry strength, you know, leverage, height.
That
he's
pinch.
not like super tall, but he's got like
Strong grip,
He's just wiry.
right, yeah.
You know those guys
Yeah.
who freaking they take you down and then they're holding on by like a thread and you're like, how are you still holding me? You should not be holding me in this position, but they are. Where Ige is more compact, he's more explosive. I drill with Ige. There's been times he'll touch me to the body on a drill, just like swinging his hand. And I just go, bro. And I've told him this multiple times, like, dude, like, I don't know if you were like trying to do that, but that shit hurts, bro. I'm like, you hit me just like that.
Yo, chill, bro.
Yeah, relax.
You're hurting people, man. I think he's got some mitts, though. He's got some big-ass mitts, and his feet are like this.
So jealous. So jealous those people just born got that, like, just that Potoan, like, electricity.
Peloton,
like,
he's
just
got the Hawaiian blood in
just
him, man.
fucking touch you
Got
and
that God's
just
gift.
put you just boop, you're out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
Like,
he hits
fuck,
hard,
bro.
man. Whenever we spar, I try not to let him hit me at all. But one of the things I do realize when we did spar, I always felt like he never really tried. I told that to Eric Nixon as well. I was like, I felt like he was always like super respectful to the point where it's like, I don't know if I'm getting anything out of the sparring session because I don't think he's actually really trying.
Maybe he's not trying to show you everything. He thinks there might be a showdown in the future. He foresaw the move.
That's funny. A couple of years ago, like, I know what you're trying to do.
Dan Ige, KO, 3rd round.
These both my friends.
You got to drink then. Drink, champs. You can drink or you can pick one. Ige or Bryce Mitchell.
It's a draw.
Oh, got to drink.
No, it's not a draw. I think if Bryce can get the fight to the ground, I think there's more chances that he's going to win. If the fight stays standing, Ige's going to win. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's the easiest way out ever, bro. It's like, you're the biggest cop out. What do you got, Andrew? Who you got?
Mitchell, 2nd round submission.
Andrew staying loyal to the grapplers.
Yeah,
It's like
second
a
round
real
submission.
jiu-jitsu
Camo
coach
shorts,
would.
baby. Let's go. I love that one. I want my camo shorts.
Therapist flats, UFOs.
Oh yeah,
Bryce Mitchell.
you know.
Boy.
But those are
Hey.
personal beliefs.
Well, here we are in Bali on the edge of the flat earth.
Yeah.
Out here.
Yeah, I don't understand that
We
one.
might fall off, bro. If we keep going the way we're going.
I'm pretty sure if at
Snipers use
Uluwatu,
math 'cause
if we would have
the-
swam
like, what
a
are we
little
talking
further out, if we would have swam a little further out in Uluwatu, we could have
could've
fell
fell
off.
off.
We
The
could have
infinity-
fell off
the
the
infinity
edge.
ocean.
I actually
That was
don't
the
know where-
infinity pool. That was the edge. Really.
We gotta look into it.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
Look into it.
We got to do our research.
We gotta look into it.
Any problem?
We're gonna do our research. Do your research, bro. Do your research.
CNN! CNN! CNN!
I got a GED, bro. Do your research.
Look into it.
Who's next?
Is there any other good fight?
I don't believe so.
It's got to be one more good one. We don't got to do a whole breakdown on it, but
Dude, this podcast is pushing it.
no, you're pushing it, Jake.
What, time-wise, or is this just terrible?
He wanted to do 40 minutes.
Yeah, we're good. We got 40 minutes, bro. Stop fucking cursing at me, bro. Damn.
Hey, easy.
Whoa,
bro.
whoa.
Look at the fight card, bro.
Let's go. We got a cage at the gym.
Yeah.
Charles Jourdain, Ricardo Ramos.
I don't know much about either one of those guys.
Ricardo Ramos is the all
Jourdain is the
guy.
Canadian kid, right?
They're both Canadian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one's Ricardo Ramos is Brazilian, but he trains at All Star with the Canadians.
Ah, okay. Jourdain, didn't he fight Des Green
He's the
in
one that
Rochester?
he's the one that did the Spartan.
When they did UFC in Rochester,
yeah.
New York, baby.
Who won that? Oh, Des
I think
won.
Desi beat him.
Yeah,
Pretty kind
but-
of a boring decision, though.
Yeah, he did the Spartan kick against Andre Ewell, and from there, Ewell, whatever. I think it's Ewell, whatever. Andre.
He's a tough kid, though. Des outpointed him, but he was coming forward at the
Yeah,
end,
Des
like
got
till the
tired.
very end and shit. Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what's crazy about Desi though? I love Desi.
Shout out Des Green.
But even when we were back at Bomb Squad, he would always say like kind of like legs feed the wolf, and he would always run. But I always felt like he was always so tired in like the second and third round, like his mouth wide open. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't get it. I think it's the weed though. I think it's the tobacco, the blunts and everything.
Yeah, the tobacco
Yeah,
and the
that's fucking
blunts.
them up.
That's
I
not
don't know
good.
nothing.
I don't think weed is bad for you. I think it's the
I don't know
other
nothing
stuff.
Yeah,
about
it's
nothing.
not weed. It's the tobacco.
I think back then, too, he was still getting used to MMA and stuff like that. But, you know. I'm waiting for Des Green to make his comeback in the UFC. I'm a fan for life. Let's
He's
go,
a
Des
problem,
Green.
man.
Let's
Especially
go.
that bare knuckle boxing.
Bro, he's got southpaw. He's really, really quick. Good wrestler. Round of 12 and D1s for University of Buffalo. Shout out to Buff.
He used to make 45. I know he was like, fuck it,
Yeah,
I'm
he
going
was making 45
I'm
for a
going-
minute.
I'm going up.
But,
But other than that, man, thank you guys for tuning in.
hey,
We'll see you guys on
Bali
the dark side.
MMA, Canggu Bali. And you guys are over in Indonesia, come through.
Funk Harbor, baby.
Funk Harbor.
Let's go.
Yes, sure.
They're going to change the name